Okay, so let's start. Good afternoon, everyone. So this is Principles of Economics. So I'll be discussing chapter 1, which is the introduction. Okay, what is economics? It is the study of people and its choices. So according to Alfred Marshall, economics is a study of man in the ordinary business of life. It inquires how to get his income and how he uses it. Thus, it is on one side the study of wealth, and on the other side, and more important side, a part of the study of man. So, why do we study economics? Because we use it every day. And then we need economics to make better decisions in future while studying the past. So remember that what is happening in the past are necessary for us to identify what will be happening in the future. And that is economics. Now, there are people who are deciding either to work or entering a college whether it will affect his future income. A company deciding either to produce a tablet or smartphone, whether that influences how consumers want to buy. And the government, whether it will increase its spending while there is recession and it is worth going into debts. There are also students, whether they are choosing to listen to the discussion today or may opt to watch it in the YouTube as well. So that is a choice you have to make. So that is economics, the study of the man and their choices. Now, economics is a social science essential for dealing with two extremes. The first one is the scarce resource, and then the second one is the unlimited human demands. So, problem. About 1.25 million people die from road crashes every year. Our source is the World Health Organization. So, if that's the problem, 1.25 million people die from road crashes every year. So, what will be our solution? You might say that the solution is to close down all the roads and crash all vehicles, then force everyone to walk. Di ba? Ugso na lang nimong palakaw ang mga tao. Unya pagkahuman sirad ang tanan nga dalan, unya pagkahuman atong dugmokon tanang sakyanan para manglakaw tang tanan. Aron wala nay mga tao nga mamatay from road crashes every year. Problem, decrease the number of people convicted of murder. Atong paubson, ang problema unsa ang pagpaubos sa mga tao nga makumbikto para mahimong murder. So imong buhaton, illegalize nato ang murder. Kung maligal gali ang murder, automatic walay mapriso sa kaso nga murder. Then, problem and the unethical treatment of elephants. So hunungon nato ang mga di makatarunganon nga tratar sa mga elepante like in the circus. So, ang solusyon nato, kill all elephants in an ethical way. Pamatyo na lang na nato sila tanan. You might say that the solutions are kanang absurd, 'di ba? Sobra kaayo, 'di ba? So, mao na we have to study what is the proper solution. Because we don't know how to study the proper solution, then therefore, we might give solutions that will not gonna answer the problem. So that is economics. You have to identify the correct and proper way of solving the problems. You just don't give solutions to the problems without thinking what would be the possible outcome. I have heard one story of, I don't know if you have heard with the Cobra effect. The Cobra effect is, it is when uh, there was a time in the past nga ang mga tao is nagproblema because there are lots of cobras in their country. Lots of cobras sa ilahang country. So the president is having a solution nga iyang buhaton is tanan ulo sa cobra na mapatay sa mga tao is iyahang kuhaon para iyang ilisdan og 1,000 every heads of cobras that you will be able to bring sa iyaha. So, ang iyahang aim is para maminusan ang kadaghanon sa cobra sa ilahang country. Now, the president might think that that is the proper solution. Pamatyon ang mga cobra para maminusan ang number of cobras in the country. But in few months of implementing such solution, he had identified and figured out that the number of cobras will not decreasing. In fact, it is increasing. What happened? So unsa kay nahitabo, unsa kay nahimong problema sa iyahang solusyon? So ang nahitabo is because people knew that in every head of cobra is 1,000, ang ilang gibuhat, gipanakop nila ang cobra. And instead of killing the cobras, they are breeding the cobras. Ilang gibreed because para og managhan ang cobra, the number of heads that you will gonna bring and give them to the president is the number of thousands that they will gonna get. So instead of solving the problem of decreasing the number of cobras in the country, nahimo na hinuon siyang another nga problem. So that is economics. Identify the proper and correct way of solving the problem, not creating another problem. So in that example, imbes nga ma-solve ang problem, nadugna na hinuon ang problem. In fact, imbes nga mo-decrease ang number of cobras, nidaghan ang number of cobras. And that is what we call the cobra effect. So there might times that you have a problem and you wanted to solve such problem, and then you have this certain decision, and you decide ka to do this without consulting anyone and without even thinking it further. And instead of solving the problem, it creates another chaotic problem. So it doubled your problem. So there are times that we had made decisions that are absurd, diba? Okay, next, proposed 2019 budget. The Philippine National Budget proposed for 2019 mainly focuses on education. So DepEd, the state universities and colleges, the CHED, the Commission on Higher Education, the TESDA, and the Public Works, the DPWH. So why did the Philippines prioritize education? Because the education sector's development has mirrored the changes the country's administration. Today, the focus is expanding access and ensuring more Filipinos receive a decent basic education as a means of reducing poverty and proving national competitiveness. Because the Philippines, the government is thinking that we should have a decent basic education. Education in such a way that we will gonna have a proper thinking and a proper mindset so that we can solve the problems, and that problems that will be solved will not create another problem as well. So that's why they focus on the education. Okay, now the concepts that will be tackled for these topics are as follows. Goods, di ba? Kay, we need to identify the concepts as well. Kay, what may be referred to as goods in economics may not be the same in other subjects. So when we say goods in economics, those are the things that people like to consume. Canned goods, di ba? And then we also have the bads. Okay, these are the things that people do not like to consume. Diba? Dili nila ganahan nga ikonsumo. Next, resources. Things we use to produce goods. So, resources will be the things that will gonna become the goods. For example, the goods. We say, for the goods, we say kanang mga dilata like corned beef. So resources, of course, the beef. So, muna siya. Land, the factor of production which covers all natural resources that exist without man's intervention. So, those are the land. Katong ni-exist nga mga natural resources, walay gitrabaho or walay gibuhat ang mga tao. Walay pagpanghilabot sa mga tao. Labor simply refers to the human inputs such as manpower and skills that are used in transforming resources into different products. Now, when the resources becomes goods, of course, those people doing so are doing labor. So muna siya, the human inputs. Capital, the man-made factor of production used to create another product. Example, are machineries and equipment commonly used in manufacturing companies. So those are capitals. Ang imuhang, I think it's understandable, the word capital. And then entrepreneurship integrates land, labor, and capital to create new products. Needs are the things we cannot live without. Wants are the non-essential things that we can live without. So, nakalahi sa needs o sa wants, needs are those panginahanglan. Wants are those kagustuhan. Example of the needs, food, shelter, those are the needs. Wants, cell phone. But now, in the times of pandemic, cell phone or smartphone becomes a necessity, becomes a need. Diba? So, muna siya nga nalahi na ang sauna and in these times of new normal. Okay. Next. The 4 factors affecting unlimited human wants. Number 1, an increase in population. So it affects unlimited human wants. Nga naman, when there is an increase in population, there might be an increase in the demand. And if there is an increase in the demand, there might be a decrease in the supply. For example, daghan kaayong mga tao karon ang nanginahanglan sa face mask. There is an increase in the demand and the supply is downgraded. So, ang supply nag-back down. So, walay mga enough na supply, so the problem is naka-affect siya sa kagustuhan sa mga tao. 'Di ba? Okay. Next, the change in taste and preference. Maka-affect siya sa human wants. For example, sa una, sikat kaayo ang, to say, RC nga cola. RC Cola. Then, Pepsi. Pag-abot sa Coca-Cola, mas nisikat ang Coca-Cola. So, the preference in terms of taste changes. So, muna, nausap ang kagustuhan sa mga tao sa ilahang panginahanglan, then therefore, it affects the human wants. Number 3 is increase in income. Of course, when your income is no longer enough to suffice your wants, then that affects the unlimited human wants. Kung sa una gusto ka, magsige ka o kanang kaon sa unlimited, eat all you can, unlimited. Sige ka kaon sa lamaw sa tabugon. But because your income has not increased, then it affects the unlimited human wants. Then the 4th one is one-time speculation of consumers. So kana bang mutanaw sila ana nga butang nya pagkahuman wa siya kauyon. So like for example, ni kaon kunuhay ka og Japanese restaurant. Nya pagkahuman moadto ka, ni kaon ka og wasabi. Unya wa ka kay bang mo dinay lasa sa wasabi. So daghan kaayo mo 20 mo ka buok na ngadto dito, ni kaon mo wasabi. Unya pagkahuman, wa mo kauyon sa lasa. So one time speculation, it changes the human wants. Diba? Kay wa kauyon sa lasa, automatic kamutan di mo ganahan mga on ato ug balik. So it changes your taste as well. So unlimited human wants. Okay, 2 main branches of economics. The first one is microeconomics. So microeconomics deal with the economics of the firms, whereas macroeconomics deals with the economics of the So mas dako ni siya anong na firms man ni siya. So okay. So microeconomics is those kanang gamay lang nga enterprise. Gamay lang atong tanawon. So ang macroeconomics is the holistic view of it. Mas dako siya kung sa ari ka sa microeconomics, let's say sa country, no, not country, city, then macroeconomics is the province. Kung himuon mong microeconomics ang province, the macroeconomics will be the nation or the country. So, muna siya. Okay, the methods of economics. Positive analysis describes what exists and how things work. And the normative analysis look at the outcome of economic behavior through judgments and prescriptions for courses of action. So positive, what exists and how things work. Una. Then normative is looks at the outcomes of economic behavior through judgment and prescriptions for course of action. Example, positive analysis, good, true, happy. So those are those things do not describe what exists. So what is, was, and will be. Muna siya ang positive. Dapat ma-describe siya kung unsa ang ni-exist karon. Okay. Think, should, and ought to. Statements that cannot be tested. So, things that dili nimo pwede ma-measure. Muna siya. Okay, example. Taxes provide government services to people. This is a positive statement as it only describes the existence of something. Remember, positive only describes what exists and how things work. Normative looks at the outcome of economics behavior through judgment and prescriptions for courses of action. Again, taxes provide government services to the people. This is a positive statement as it only describes the existence of something. Positive economics is not concerned with right or wrong statements. Wala siya nagkuan kung sakto ba siya, sayop ba siya. Plainly, ka-describe lang siya, di ba? Of the existence. So, taxes provide government services to the people. True? Yes. Wrong or false? No. We don't care about that. Ang atua is just a statement. Remember, once the statement is kanang wrong, it is still a positive statement because it describes the existence of something. Okay, another example. Taxes provide government to the people. So transforming to normative statement. Ato siyang i-transform into normative statement. Government should levy more taxes to provide more services to the people. Diba? Naa siya necessity because according to normative statement, looks at the outcome of economics behavior through judgment and prescriptions of course of action. Unsay dapat nga buhaton, unsay should, diba? Ought to, think, kana siya. Statement that cannot be tested. Dili nimo ma-measure kung sakto ba siya or sayop. Pero kung ma-measure gali nimo siya, sakto ba siya or sayop, positive statement na siya. Okay. So, muna siya, taxes provide government service to the people is a positive statement. And negative statement is government should levy more taxes to provide more services to the people. Okay, another example. People tend to shop at Walmart more when they get a pay raise. So, we don't know whether it's true or not. We don't know whether it's correct or wrong. We don't know whether it's good or bad, but still it's a positive statement. Now, normative statement becomes everyone should shop at Walmart. There is a necessity that you should go to Walmart, and that becomes a normative statement. Okay, so ang kalahian sa positive statement of normative statement, positive statement is describing lang. Whether sakto or sayop, we don't care. Basta kay, it's describing. Now, rich people need to pay more taxes. Diba? Naaman siya ko a necessity. Need to pay our taxes. Normative statement siya because there is a necessity. We kanang kuan kanang na siya panginahanglan. So positive statement if families with income over 1 million per year paid more taxes, overall tax revenues will increase. Wata kay ba kung sakto ba na siya or sayop, but ga-describe lang na siya nga kung tanan untang pamilya nga naay lapas og 1 million nga kada tuig kay mobayad og kanang ang mulapas og 1 million kada tuig, mas daghan og bayaran nga taxes, then mas mutaas kuno ang tax revenue, di ba? Kung sakto man sad siya pero wasa taga-ingon nga sad nga di sad siya sayop nga dili na lang ipantay tanan, pero we don't care whether it's correct or wrong, good or bad, then that is a positive statement. But when there is a necessity, then that becomes a normative statement. Okay, now theories and models. In economics, just like in natural sciences, theories are propositions about certain related variables that scientifically explain a certain phenomena. For example, theory of Thomas Malthus. So, kana siya, that is a theory. So, daghan kang theory sa kalibutan, unya, pagkahuman, that needs to be proven. Once a theory becomes correct, once a theory becomes a kuan kanang naturally accepted, it becomes a law. Example, theory of kuan sa una kanang law of inertia, theory of inertia na siya, pero na-prove man nga tinuod na siya. Once kuno i-push nimo ang usa ka item, mo move siya forward, then there is an effort that is. And once imo sad na siyang birahon, naasa kay force nga gi-exert sad. So mo-move sad gihapon siya. So since tinuod man siya it is accepted globally, then it becomes the law of inertia. Okay. Models, on the other hand, are used to illustrate, demonstrate, and represent a theory or parts of it. So once ang theory ato siyang i-illustrate, it becomes a model. It's simplify an explanation or description of a certain economic phenomenon, often employing graphs, diagrams, or mathematical formulae. Okay, those are models. Now, fallacies in making models and theories. So, naan sa mga kasaypanan when we make a model and theory. The first one is the post hoc fallacy. We're going to explain them later on. Number two, the failure to hold other things constant under ceteris paribus assumption. And then, number three, the fallacy of composition. Sige. So, unsa man yung fallacies di ay? These are misleading notions that certain economists believe when deciding models and theory. Kato sila ba nga sakto na ni siya, ma-prove na ni siya by just doing these notions. So, imbis nga ma-prove nila, na-mislead na hinoon sila. So those are fallacies. So the three fallacies are the post hoc fallacy, the failure to hold other things constant under ceteris paribus assumption, and then the fallacy of composition. Sige, let's start with the post hoc fallacy. The post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy, muna siya pinakataas niya nga kuan, the longer version, post hoc fallacy or the post hoc ergo propter hoc fallacy relates to events as if the first event causes the second one to happen. It is commonly constructed in this form. A occurred immediately before B. Therefore, A caused B. Post hoc ergo propter hoc means after this, therefore, because of this. Meaning, there is one thing that happened. Na nahitabo. Pagkahuman, na ay unang nahitabo before ani. Meaning, kani siya ni occur before ni nahitabo. Therefore, kani siya hinungdan para mahitabo to. Okay, para mas ma-explain nato, let's have this illustration. Example, Alex borrowed my bike. Remember ha, this is a fallacy. Alex borrowed my bike. Nanghuwam siya sa akong bike. So, Giniingon ko, okay, sige, huwami lang. Huwag man ako gamita. He rode it upon going to work. Iyang gisakyan, niadto siya sa iyahang trabaho. He returned it with a chain busted. Iyang giuli, ang kadina, guba na, naputol na. Remember, pag huwam niya, okay pa. Iyang gisakyan, upon going to work, pag uli niya, naguba na. Do we think Alex is the reason nga naguba ang ako ang bike? We might be thinking, Alex caused my bike to break. Diba? Siya ang hinungdan. Siya yung last ni gamit. Moro ba ni kasagaran ang atong buhaton? Diba? Nang huwam si kuan sa akong cellphone. Pero wala natagak ha. Nang huwam siya, unya nikalit lag turn off ang ako ang device. Wala na ni on akong cellphone. Since siya man ang ni gamit, siya sad ani. Diba? So, Alex caused my bike to break. So, muna siya ang ato ang conclusion. Did Alex really cause the bike to break? Remember, he rode the bike. The bike broke. So, he caused it to break. So, he's responsible, right? Siya gunisakay. Siya nang huwam. Iyang gisakyan, di pagkaw man naguba, tungod kay naguba, siya ang hinungdan nga nung naguba. So he's responsible para ato. That is a fallacy. So sayop nga moingon ta nang huwam og bike, unya pagkahuman siya may last ni gamit, siya ang nakaguba. That is a fallacy. Nga naman, probably it's the time nga maputol na jud to ang kadena sa bike. It's the time nga maputol to. Kung ako siguro ang nisakay ato, well, of course, sa ako ang assumption, of course, maputol jud siya. Pero lagi, hatag na to sa ilang example. Kung dili si Alex, let's say si Joanne. Si Joanne, nga akong friend, mo sakay ato. Unya naputol. Si Joanne ang hinungdan. Muna usahay atong pasanginan kung kinsa ang last ni gamit. But the question is, without any negligence, na break lang ang chain sa bike. Si Joanne ba or si Alex? Or probably nawa ta sa ato ang conclusion nga time na jud siguro nga ilisanan tog kadina. Nga bisag kinsa pay pwede mo posibleng mo sakay ato, posibleng mabuto jud to siya og maguba. So bisan kinsa. So dili si Alex ang sad-an, dili si Joanne ang sad-an. Samot nga dili ako ang sad-an. Diba? So mao na siya ang idea sa post hoc. Because A occurred immediately after B, before B, then therefore A causes B. Si Alex nang huwam gud siya sa ako ang bike, kunya akong bike naguba. Therefore si A ang hinungdan, si Alex ang hinungdan ngano ang akong bike naguba. Diba? Ana ang atong una. That is a fallacy. Fallacy na ha, meaning pasaypanan, misleading notion. Dili siya part of the conclusion. Okay. Sige, next is fail to hold things constant under ceteris paribus assumption. What is a ceteris paribus? Ceteris paribus means all things being equal or held constant. Dapat kanang naa kay mga butang nga kanang gikuan nimo nga pareha jud na siya, unya constant jud na siya, di jud na siya mausab. When you are generalizing events as if they were all the same and all the results were predictable, so mo na siya ceteris paribus. Example, ceteris paribus ha, constant. Soda company. Naay soda. Pagkahuman, on sale. So the price is down. Does it mean more consumers? Kung mo down ang presyo sa soda, does it mean daghan ang consumer nga mupalit ato niya? That is a fallacy. Why? Dili pasabot kay nag-sale siya, mas mudaghan ang ihang consumer. Okay. Naaman tay gitawag dira nga na fail man nato to hold constant. What if the production of soda, diba? What if the production of soda is not enough para makaingon ka nga masuffice ang kadaghanon sa consumers? So we cannot say that the number of consumers is rising as well. 'Di ba? We fail to hold things that are constant. 'Di ba? So, the number of consumers is also affected by the number of demands and the number of supplies of soda. So, muna siya. We fail to hold things constant. Number three, the fallacy of composition. It states that what is true for all component is also true for the entire thing. Error in reasoning. So, composition. Kung true siya, ani, then therefore true siya sa tanan. Oh, that's a fallacy ha. Fallacy na siya. Kung tinuod ayon ang tanan. Oh, dili pwede tamingon ana. Error in reasoning na siya. Example, nayo sa kataw nga nakadaog og loto. No, si Alex gihapon. Alex won a lottery. Now, will Alex be a good businessman? Because he won a lottery. Or will Alex be a gambler? Magsugal. It is wrong to assume that all lottery winners will become a good businessman or a gambler. 'Di ba? Dili ingon katungod kung si Alex nahimong good businessman, mingon din ta nga it's true to Alex. Then automatic tanan mo daog og lottery mahimong good businessman. Okay, that's the concept there. Wrong to assume that all lottery winners will become a good businessman or gambler. 'Di ba? Si Alex kay nakadaog og lottery, niya nahimo siyang gambler, nahimo siyang sugarol. It's wrong to assume that tungod kay si Alex nahimong sugarol, pagkadaog niya sa loto, it's wrong to assume that tanan nga nakadaog sa loto mahimong sugarol. So that is a fallacy in composition. So muna siya ha. It doesn't mean na tanang Alex, for example, na kay X, angan Alex, gibiyaan ka. It's wrong to assume na tanang Alex mamiyaay. 'Di ba? So it's a fallacy in composition. So muna. The basic economic question, what to produce? A society determines the kind of quantity of products it will produce depending on what the consumer wants to buy or willing to pay for. So, nagdepende na siya kung unsa may panginahanglanon sa consumer. Unsa say gusto nilang paliton, 'di ba? Of course, kung unsay gusto nilang paliton, mao jud dapat nimong i-produce. So that's the big economic question. How to produce? A society decides will produce goods and what process of production will be used. Goods may be produced by corporations, small business owners, or government itself. The process of producing goods may be addressed depending on the cost and the availability of resources needed. So, unsaon nimo pag-produce anang imong mga produkto? Depende. Mag-manufacturing ka, or kundi mag-industry ka, or kundi mag-kanang machineries ka, ana, or kundi magtao ka, na kay mga tao. Na, so, depende na siya on how to produce. Depende sa na siya kung unsay target market nimo. Okay. For whom to produce? Para kinsa man ang production. The question resolves around the issue who benefit from the goods and services produced. This depends on the distribution of wealth in a particular society. Therefore, a consumer who has the capacity to pay for certain goods and services is more likely to benefit than the one who could not afford them. Of course, para kakinsa maning cellphone, para kakinsa maning laptop, para kakinsa maning kanang mga electric fan. These are for those people that can afford it. Unfortunately, not all people can afford it. But we don't say that it is not a necessity. So, necessity siya, pero pipila lang kabuk ang maka-afford. But that's how business works. We cannot deny the fact that it's how business works. Money. 'Di ba? Kinahanglan man sad ta makabawi sa ato ang kapital once we do business, because it's not a kanang trabaho nga kuan lang, kanang sana siya mo contribute lang ka bisag kinsa nga ihatag nimo for free, 'di ba? So it's not about that, it's business. Okay, there are three marketing educational, no, there are three economic systems. So an economic system is characterized by the type of institution responsible for the management and allocation of resources used in the production of goods and services. So first one is the market economic system. Private entities. So who uh, ito mga economic question. What to produce, how to produce, WHF, and for whom to produce. What to produce? Producing goods that yield high profits. Next, how? Producing at constant return scale with minimum cost. And then for whom? Producing these goods to those who can afford to buy them. So private entities na siya ha. Private entities, marketing nga economic system. Now the command economic system, producing more public goods like roads, public schools, and public hospitals. Government ni siya, command economic system. Then how? Employing all possible laborers and using the available machinery and equipment. And then for whom? Producing for public, for the public. Okay. Then we also have the mixed economic system, both government and private. So most countries apply this type of government, but in different proportions. Okay. Now, the Philippines, asa kaha na siya na belong? Sa market, sa command, or sa mixed? Now, ang Philippines na belong sa mixed economic system. Ano man, naaman tay government ug natay private that are producing goods as well. Diba? So, marketing are those private nga kadtong separate siya. For example, private hospitals. Diba? Naa sa type public hospitals nga naasa nga ang government ang nagpamalakad. So, private hospitals sila ang nagkatungkuan. Nanay president ana, nyo din pagkaman, sila mo'y nagpa tukod ana nga building ana nga hospital. Sa private sa public hospital, ang gobyerno magpatukod kay kwarta nas katawhan. Nya mo na nga mas lesser ang bayad sa public kaysa sa private. Nganong mas kuan man, gusto man sa mga kwartahan ato sa private? Because sa public manggod perting daghan ng tao. Perting daghan na nga mga masakiton. Kay maura may kaya nilang ma-afford. Barato raman dito. Okay, so mo na siya. So ang Philippines nasa mix. Naay government o naasay private entities. Okay. Now, opportunity cost and trade-off. Opportunity cost. Because you do one thing, you've lost opportunity to do something else. So that is an opportunity cost. Because you did watch a TV in GMA or watch the GMA channel, kani nga particular nga time slot, alas city, unsa nag-ato sa may kaatbang anang kuan kanang balita sa una. TV Patrol, example ato sa una. TV Patrol og kuan kanang sa nga balita sa 24 oras. Because ni tanaw makag 24 oras, wala kay opportunity makatanaw sa TV Patrol by that time because they have the same time slot. So, muna siya, because you do one thing, you've lost the opportunity to do something else. Okay, trade-off or opportunity cost principle. People face trade-offs. Kanang barter. The cost of something is what you give up to get it. So that is a trade-off. Example, I bought this watch at SM. The trade-off value of this is around, that was 2014 ago, 8,000. So, meaning, in order for me to get this watch, I have to give up my 8,000. So that is the trade-off value. So trade-offs. So the cost of getting a new item is the value of the 8,000 pesos. So sa una manggod, barter manggod sa una. Sa una nga kuan sa Philippines, barter. Pwede kuan kana ang kaning gibalik gali na karon, usa ka kilo nga manok ilisa nimo og tanom. Gibalik na siya karon ang barter, na Tabugon barter community, na Bourbon barter community, agitaan na. Gibalik na nila karon. Pero ang nakalisod man good because there is a value of everything. Di man pwede nga moingon ka nga ang usa ka kilo nimo nga manok ilisa nimo usa ka kilo nga munggos. Di man pwede. Di ba? So dapat na ay sakto sa nga trade value. Pero sa una nga mga tao, mga Pinoy, katong kuan jud primitive times era kay kuan ka ng they don't care about the trade off value for as long as they need that and then this one is an excess to their necessity, then they trade off. Ilis ra sila na ako'y daghan nga karni sa baka na siya kay na siya daghan karni sa manok, karni sa baboy. Oh, sige, ilista. Ang tiil sa ako ang baka, ilisig tiil sa imuhang baboy. Ingana ba? So, trade-off. They don't care kung pila ang kilo, ingana siya. So, that's the trade-off. Example, things that can be done in a Friday night. Unsay kaya nimong buhaton in a Friday night? Of course, you can spend time with your friends. Diba? Pwede. That's a Friday night. Tomorrow will be Saturday. You can have disco. Diba? Or you may start a spend time with a movie date with a lover. Diba? Magtanaw mo movie na kamurang duha. Na. Or you may study alone. Char. Study alone ka. So those are the things that you can do in a Friday night. Now, trade-off friends versus more than friends. Diba? Pili ka. Unsa man? Friends ba ang imuha? Or, katong imuhang more than friends, your lover. Or more than your friend is your book. So, pili ka. Unsa may impilion? Imuhang mga friends or imuhang book? Imuhang mga friends or imuhang lover? Imuhang partner? So, those are the trade-offs. The cost will be the time and money. Of course, you will be spending time and you will be spending money. And once you spend that time, it can never be coming back to you. Once the money has been spent, it will gonna come back to you when you do something else. Manarbaho ka. So, muna siya. Once imuha na na siyang magasto, dili na mabalik sa imuha. But you can have another opportunity to get money from it. But time, dili na nimo pwedeng mabalik ang oras. So, spend time wisely. Benefits. What are the benefits? Of course, fun. Lingaw kay ka. Nag-spend time ka sa mga friends, nag-bonfire or nag-disco mo, atong disco mo sa Bourbon, sa fiesta, di ba? Sa una kay mag-disco sa Pantalan, nana, or kundi nananaw mo nindot nga movie with your lover, di ba? Enjoy ka. Or kundi nagtuon ka o nag-enjoy ka kung nagtuon ka. Okay? We have this statement or the abbreviation tons to fall. Tons to fall means there ain't no such a thing as a free lunch. Meaning, wala na butang karon nga libre. There ain't no such thing as a free lunch. Tanan karon na ay bayad. So, dili man siguro kwarta ang kabayaran, kundi oras. 'Di ba? Oras ang imuhang gibayad, ang imuhang gigahin. You spend time with your friends, you spend hours. 'Di ba? Usahay maugmaan pa, days. You spend time having a movie date, you spend hours with your lover. You study alone, you spend hours, 'di ba? Na, so mo na siya wala siya'y libre. 'Di ba? Kay dili man mo ma-post ang oras para makatuon ka. Okay. Now, production possibility frontier and opportunity cost. Now, the concept of trade-off is illustrated in of production in an economy. For example, a firm needs to produce 2 types of soda drinks. Table 1.1 on the next slide show all possible production combination of 2 kinds of soda drinks. Manufacturer can produce in a given time. Using fixed amount of inputs, resources, a manufacturer can produce 40 units of orange sodas and the cola drinks in 1 hour. 40 units of orange soda and none of cola drinks in 1 hour. So, fixed amount ko no of inputs, resources, ang manufacturer in 1 hour, kaya mo buhat og 40 units of soda pero walay cola. Sa 30 units of orange soda, 20 units of Coca-Cola or cola ang iyang mabuhat in 2 hours and so on. So the trade-off is illustrated here by following how much of the cola drink is not produced as the manufacturer chooses to spend more time producing orange sodas. This one, example. Mani siya ganina. So, at point A, a number of hours, 1 hour, 40 orange soda, 0 cola ang na-produce niya. Pero kung 2 hours ang iyang spend, 30 orange soda, 20 ka cola ang produce. Now, kung 3 hours siya, 25 ang orange soda, 25 ka cola ang iyang ma-produce. Now, kung ari siya sa 4 hours na, 10 na lang ka orange soda ang iyang ma-produce, niya 35 ka cola ang iyang ma-produce. Now, kung 5 hours iyang spend, wala siya orange soda nga ma-produce, pero 40 ka cola ang iyang ma-produce. So from the combination in the table 1.1, we can obtain the production possibility frontier. Figure 1.1 show the graphical representation derived from the table. So, kaya ni natong buhaton. Like for example, kung 1 hour ka, so remember, at 1 hour or point A, 40 ka soda, and then 0 ka cola. So 40 ka soda, taraman ang soda dire, taraman ang cola dire. So therefore, kani soda ni, kani cola ni dire. So 40 ka soda, 0 cola. Kani. Dire dapita. Ato ning butangan og kuan. Laser point. Okay, this one, di ba? So kana. Dire dapita. That's point A. Na point B is 30 kuno ka soda, 20 ka cola. 30 ka soda, 20 ka cola. Dire dapita. Ana. That's point B. Next, point C. At 3 hours, 25 ka cola, 25 sad ka soda. So, tunga o tunga. Okay, that one. Okay. Next is 10 ka orange soda and then 35 na lang ka cola. Okay. 35 na ka cola. Next is wala na jud siya orange soda, so 0. O nya 40 ka cola. Muna siya. Dara dapita ang point E. And you will have that graph. Diba? So, muna siya ang production possibility frontier. That's how you graph, depending on the soda, number of soda, and number of cola. Murarag sa ato ang katungkuan sa una, sa mathematics. Okay, now, opportunity cost and comparative advantage. Comparative advantage is where one participant in trade has a relative advantage over the production of one product and the other participants has the relative advantage over the other. So kato akong ginganina nga atong magbaylo sila because there is a comparative advantage. Example, consider the countries A and B. Duha country A or country B. Manufacturing both agricultural and technological. Agricultural is red, blue is technological products. Using 100 units of resources for each both country yields 150 units of this product. Ang kaya nilang ma-produce. However, country A strength is producing agricultural goods while country B is advantage in producing technological goods. So nakita nato sa country A, ang red, which is agricultural, ang kaya niyang ma-produce og daghan. Muna ang strength. Sa country B, ang strength sa niya is technological. Sad, ang kaya niyang ma-produce og daghan. So, unsa may ilahang buhaton? So, ang ilang buhaton is, first, is ma-produce sila sa kung unsa man ang kaya nilang daghanon og produce. So, instead of producing that much, kay, di ba nakita man nato nga para makaproduce siya og 50 kabuok ani, ang equivalent niya is makahuman siya og duha ka 50 sa agricultural. Usa lang ka buok technological makahuman siya og duha ka 50. Meaning, kung tangtangon ni nako ang usa ka 50 sa technological, kaya na kong i-produce og another duha ka 50 sa agricultural. So, muna siya ang idea. Di ba? So, mura na ang konsepto. Gikan sa imbis nga naa sila ana nga 50-50, ang pag-produce nila ana nila is dili na lang, dugangan na lang nila og another, which is equivalent to, sa duha ka 50 sa agricultural. The same way in country B, duha ka 50 sa equivalent sa technological. Okay, then what will they gonna be doing afterwards? Ilang buhaton is, what if both countries trade off? Ilang pulihan, magbaylo sila. Di ba? So, imbis nga, kuan, kanang same time ang ilahang gi-produce, ang kanang duha ka 50, ilisig duha ka 50 sad sa other. So, in that sense, that is a comparative advantage now. Same time ang nabuhat nila na trabaho, ibutang tano. Balik na tano para mas masabtan. Usa ka oras ni, example, usa ka oras nakaproduce siya ani. Usa sad ni ka oras nakaproduce siya aning 50. Kani usa ka oras, kani usa ka oras. So pila ka oras ga trabaho si country A? Duha ka oras. Kani si country B, duha ka oras. Now, what if ang usa ka oras ani is i-produce na lang niya another 50 ani. Doon another 50 sad aning usa. Di ba? Since usa ka oras man gyapon na, so the same way duha ka oras ra ni siya. Duha ka oras pud ni. So ilang i-trade off value. So ang duha ka oras nila imbis nga muna ang nahitabo, duha ka agricultural, usa ka technological, si country B is usa ka agricultural, usa ka technological, ilang duha ka oras. Ang ilang duha ka oras is ilang trade off, nahimo silang duha-duha na. That becomes a comparative advantage to both of them. That's a win-win situation sa ilahang duha because na baylo man niya. Now, answer the question given to you and write them in. Okay, never mind that one. So, those are the things that we have to remember on the concept of principles of economics. Okay, so that ends my presentation at exactly 1 hour of the discussion. So now at this point, I will be asking you to unmute yourselves, and then you may start presenting your webcam, opening your webcam. Then, pagkahuman, you may raise questions. So, atong na-discuss is worth pila ka slides. Kung ano na siya ka slides? 38 slides. Okay, I'll be stopping the recording from now on so that dili mo mauwaw, mahadlok sa inyong mga pangutanan. Dili ra ko mo stop sa ako ang recording niya aron kay basin ma-conscious mo nga hala naka-record ra ba ni. Nya then ma-upload niya mag-appeal.